Hello friends, welcome to your day, week, month, year reviews with your host of the day and the week, and then later on the month and the year. This one's the week. TroytlePower. My name's TroytlePower from the TroytlePower Presents, the Power Playthroughs podcast with TroytlePower. But I'm not here to talk to you today about TroytlePower Presents Power Playthroughs podcast with TroytlePower. I'm here to talk to you all about The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Because it's been actually a little bit longer than a week since I started playing it, and I wanted to write a review with my updated impressions. No dog. One of the dogs is in here, and he's very grumbly because he can hear the other dogs outside. I apologize if you hear any dog noises on this episode. So I haven't actually played that much more Zelda since I previously recorded. If you'll remember, in my last episode, I talked about how I had gotten up to the wizard at the end of kind of the first section of the game, got the Master Sword, got up to the wizard, beat him, and then my game broke. I've played a little bit more since then. It happened again that the game broke, so then I had to play to get up to him again, and that time I beat him, and I got to wander down from the Palace Temple and see a little bit of the world and the new monsters in the dark side of the world, and started making my way to the first dungeon in the Dark World, although I didn't actually make it to that dungeon. If you want to hear all that, again, go listen to TroytlePower Presents Power Playthroughs podcast with TroytlePower. But in the meantime, I wanted to give you kind of an update on my impressions of it. I'm still liking it quite a bit. The one thing that kind of came up that didn't change my opinion, but kind of had a potential of changing my opinion, was as I made my way towards the first dungeon, there was like this forest I had to go through, and it was like it was open spaces with trees at the edge of the open spaces, making like a barrier. Think like the woods. Oh, dogs are barking. Hang on. Why are they barking? Should we investigate? Oliver's going to investigate. Hey, Oliver? No, that's okay. They stopped barking. You don't need to start them up again. You'd think the woods in Pokemon, where it's like you're in the woods, but you don't really go through the trees at all. Well, what happened in this one is it turns out that there was areas where you could there would be openings in the walls of trees, and then you could walk through what looked like barriers, and you could tell where you could go because there were little tiny dot openings in the trees. So you could be like, oh, there's an opening there, so there must be a path between the trees. The problem is, playing it on the Game Boy Advance, and especially the Game Boy Micro, those openings, the dots were really hard to see, so it was really hard to tell where I was going, which I think is the first time that I've had a grievance with the pixel art of the game. Up to this point, everything's kind of worked beautifully well, but that didn't really work very well for me. However, I have to kind of couch that on the fact that I'm playing the Game Boy Advance version of this, and again, the Game Boy Micro is the platform I'm playing on. I'm playing on the smallest screen you can possibly play it on, and it's built for a TV, so I imagine that playing it on a TV, those dots might have been much more visible. Oh my gosh, dog, you have to sit down. There you go, good boy. So yeah, it's not like a problem with the game or anything else or anything like that. It was a little frustrating. I might have gotten to the first temple if I hadn't gotten confused by those. Let's see. What are my questions on here? How many times have you played the game? Just a couple of times. I think I've picked it up 2 or 3 times. I've played for a total of maybe 2 hours. Not that long, but it's been on my mind a bunch. I really want to play more of it. It's just this is the holidays time of year, and between my family and my wife's family, it's been very busy. There hasn't been a lot of sitting around playing video game time, which is totally fine. The time I have had to sit around and play video games, I'll be totally honest with y'all, I've been playing the Spider-Man game on PlayStation 4, but that's only because I have it checked out from the library, and I have to return it when the holiday times end. So it's been my I wake up super early in the morning, and I'm like, I guess I'll go play some Spider-Man. I guess I could have played Zelda at that time too, but I wanted to finish the DLC for Spider-Man because it's very good too. Let's see. Do you like the game so far? Absolutely. And then the next question is the game holding up to your hopes/memory so far? It totally is. I'm having such a fun time with the game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm delighted to be filling in a gap in my video gaming career, but more importantly, it's a fun experience moment to moment, which I'm going to use this platform to shit on another game a little bit here. Oops, can I say the poop word on this podcast, Evan? I hope I can, because I don't know if I'll remember to go beep it. But I mentioned Spider-Man. Spider-Man's another game that's just absolutely fun moment to moment. It is such a fun video game. Then there's this other game that came out this year everybody really loves. It's called Red Dead Redemption. It's very interesting. I hate it. It's not fun to play. It's not a fun video game. So, good video games are good, and Red Dead Redemption is not a good video game. It's interesting. It's not fun. It's not fun to play. There's nothing fun about it. Anyway, I have two other things that I want to cover here. The first is that I got a question from Mr. Evan Tolley. Give me a question to answer on the chat. He said, "What if Zelda was a girl?" That was the question he asked. And my answer to that is, and has been for a long time, that would be awesome. I would totally play a Zelda game where Zelda is a girl. But if Link was a girl, I assume is the joke we're going for here. Or rather, the not joke, the real thing. Anyway, I would totally play a game where you played as Zelda or played as a female Link. I have, absolutely 100%. I'm all about that. I'm really looking forward. Another game I'm playing right now is Assassin's Creed, the Egypt one. Origins? Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to finishing it so I can go play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you can be a female character, because I think female characters kick all kinds of butt. And I would totally play a Zelda where you played as Link or female Zelda. That would be super cool. And then the one other thing that I wanted to share was just a story about A Link to the Past that made me really happy. Like I said, there's been a lot of family stuff going on with the holidays and stuff. So I was hanging out with my nephew, who's just turned 4 years old and doesn't really play a whole lot of video games. His video game consumption is limited to when he's hanging out with me. He doesn't really play at home at all. And he saw I was working on my computer and I had something up about A Link to the Past, and he saw it and he was like, "What's that? What's that game? I want to play that game. Can I play that game?" So I set him up with my Game Boy Micro, and I made a new save file, and I got him up to the point where you get the sword, and then I let him go. And he absolutely figured it out. He was able to move from the room I started him in into the next room in the starting dungeon castle thing, and found an enemy in there, and was able to understand how the sword worked, and was able to understand how he had to point Link in the correct direction in order to use the sword, and was able to defeat an enemy. And it was super cool. He didn't play it for a very long time because there was family stuff going on, but it was really neat to see that this game that I'm enjoying so much was also totally approachable for a kid who doesn't play video games. So that was the really neat experience I had with A Link to the Past this week. And so ultimately, A Link to the Past is still good after a week. I didn't make nearly as much progress as I expected to this week, but I'm absolutely going to keep playing it until I beat it. So I will check in with you guys in another couple weeks here when it's been about a month that I've been playing it, and I'll let you know how I'm doing at that point and how I'm feeling about it. Until then, we should have a sign-off.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
@ProbablyWork
for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.